Welcome to Study in Italy Days event and Yulm seminar. Today we have Alberto Zanetti from the university, and we'll also have a Turkish student, Anil, who is going to join us in a while. So there is going to be the presentation by the school, and you're going to see the point of view of a student as well. You will have the presentation first, then we will have time for your questions, and we'll give the answers. And I'll be here to support you if you need me.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for your introduction. First of all, let me highlight the fact that I am very happy of being here today. It's always a special occasion for us when we participate in the Study in Italy Days organized by your organization, because we always have a great success among prospective students from your area. And we are always very happy with the questions that we receive. So once again, thank you for inviting us, and thank you for taking the time, your precious time, to organize this kind of event.
Thank you for joining.
My name is Alberto, and I work inside the International Mobility and Recruitment Office of Università Yulm in Italy. And today, I would like to take you through a very brief virtual tour of our university. It's going to be like a virtual tour, even if we are not using any special features, we are not using any VR technology, but it's going to be like a virtual tour. And in particular, we are gonna concentrate a little bit more on the 2-year master's degree in hospitality and tourism management, which is one of the most popular programs that we have held in English language. So I'm going to share my screen, if you agree. Okay, you should be able to see my screen in full screen mode in a second. All right. So can you confirm that you can see the screen? Perfect. Thank you very much. So, as I said, I will just give you a brief overview of what the university is all about. We were established in 1968, and we are very well known, not only in Italy, but also abroad, especially in Europe, as the Center of Excellence for Communication Studies. So probably when you mention our name, you immediately link it to communication studies. But then we also teach foreign languages, tourism and hospitality, which is going to be today's topic, media and the promotion of cultural heritage. We are a private university, but we are classified as a private, not-for-profit university, which means that every year we are able to reinvest the tuition fees in new services, new facilities, and create new opportunities for our students. Just a snapshot, very brief, of the numbers of the university, so you can have a better idea of the dimension of the institution. We are not very big, 7,000 students, 1 teacher out of 23 students as a ratio, which is very good because it means that you're going to work in very selected groups, work groups, and you are not going to be just a number. It's important. 25% of international students in degree courses held in English. I am not a huge fan of rankings, to be honest, but just for you to know, our university was selected among the top 200 universities in the world in 2022, according to Times Higher Education Impact Rankings. And here on screen, you can see the 2 categories where we have been selected. As for the national reputation, we are currently ranked number 1 in Italy for facilities, to students, and number 1 for career progression in the field of arts and media. We are based in Milan, and the fact that we are based in Milan is extremely important from an international student's perspective, in my opinion, because you can actually experience all the features that you can see on screen. So you can visit heritage sites, you can go to the museums, you can attend events, and even fashion shows if you are into fashion, because Milan is the capital of fashion in Southern Europe. And really, you can feel the vibrant atmosphere of a multicultural financial capital. Of course, Rome is the political capital, but Milan is the place to be when it comes to finance and multiculturality. So a few facts about Milan for those of you who haven't been there. 1.4 million people in the core area, 7.5 million people if we include also the productive district around the city. 3 international airports, 5 lines of the metro. There used to be 4, but there is a new line linking the east part of the city to Linate Airport, recently opened. 70 museums and 1 UNESCO heritage site. Now, at this point, I would like to stop just for a second. I am not completely sure if Anil was able to join the room. I think so, because I saw his name in the waiting room and I admit him. So thank you for joining us, Anil. It's a pleasure having you here.
You're welcome.
We are very lucky today because we have a true testimonial and ambassador of our university, a student of the master's degree in hospitality and tourism management. Would you just introduce yourself a little bit for us? Thank you.
Yes. So where to start? Like, I was just like one of you 2 years ago, let's say, if I'm not mistaken, and I was interested to study here. And luckily, today I'm here in the university doing my 2nd year, which I'm 26 years old. So you shouldn't think it's late to do your master degrees or bachelor, even bachelor. So I'm completing it. It goes really well. I enjoy and I appreciate every possibility today that I have. Even the air conditioner works right now and keeps me warm in the room. So yes, basically this is me, and I'm studying and living one of my best. Still. So I'll leave the floor to Alberto. If any following questions.
Thank you. Thank you for your introduction. And well, just out of the blue, since we were talking about Milan as a destination for studies in Italy, what would you say, according to your personal experience, about the city? So would you recommend Milan as a study destination from your own perspective?
Well, I would like to say, before actually I come here, I had this idea to like Milan is Milan in our own minds, because like we see it as a Milan very international city, which is still, but unfortunately I'm from Istanbul, so once I arrived here, because of the chaotic environment of Istanbul, I felt a bit like in a small town, but it's still great, which even Istanbul doesn't have 5 metro lines, I guess, or maybe now, I don't know. But still, it's a great city. It's a liveful city like Istanbul. I don't know if any of our attenders from Istanbul. So the city kind of don't sleep. You have always something to do. There are cultural and leisure activities around the city. As an education, we have the University and other universities as well. We could react. Transportation is very good. Food is tasty, as Italian and Turkish cuisine are similar. So yes, I guess these are the things I could add for now.
Well, that's a first-hand experience, so we cannot be more genuine and precise than that. Thank you. Thank you for your take.
You're welcome.
I would just add to what Anil was commenting that Lombardy is always a good choice for a study abroad experience on a whole as a region, because it's one of the wealthiest regions in the European Union according to the GDP per capita index. It's because it's actually full of job opportunities for graduates, and by far it is the most welcoming region in the country when it comes to international students, thanks to a multitude of factors, including the availability of accommodation. Not to mention the fact that if you're coming from outside the European Union and you graduate from an Italian university, you can get a 12-month permit of stay extension in order to continue with your studies or alternatively choose another academic path. A few things more about our university as an institution. We are an Erasmus program, C. So if you decide to join us, you could experience from a semester of a 12-month experience abroad. We have more than 150 partner universities. We can offer guidance with counseling, also in English language, peer tutoring, and a recently activated buddy system in order to help prospective students with their questions, a wide range of services for disabled students, and the good part, the best part probably, our career office, which is one of the most effective at university level in Italy at the moment, with more than 1,400 partner companies, plenty of internship opportunities, and they are really able to help you in finding a job after graduation because they have a dedicated unit just for international students. Statistics are always interesting. As you can see, 78% of the people interviewed for this survey carried out in 2021 was graduated after 1 year from a Master of Science at our university. And across the board, generally speaking, more than 93% of the people interviewed was satisfied with the quality and efficiency of the teaching staff. 94% was satisfied with the study load. 97% was satisfied with the campus facility. And so, as you can see, the satisfaction rate of our university is actually state of the art. But probably one of the superstars that we should mention, apart from our special guest, of course, one of the superstars of this presentation is the campus, because the campus is something really different. You will not find a similar solution in the city of Milan at the moment. First of all, because all the facilities are included in the same area. So you never have to leave the campus boundaries in order to move from one class to the next. It's 10 minutes away from the city center, 3 on-campus canteens, cafeterias, a recently opened fitness center open to students and teaching staff as well. And believe me, every room or place is within walking distance. I'm going to show you just a couple of pictures of the campus. This is the largest cafeteria that we have. This is building number 1, the place where I am located now. This is the fitness center, the public park right in the middle of the campus. This is probably one of the students' favorite sites inside the campus. And as you can see from this aerial picture, from this bird view of the campus, really every place is within walking distance. So you should believe me when I say it, but who else can tell you more about the campus than Anil? Because you have been experiencing our facilities for quite a long time now. So what is your take about the campus itself?
Well, when I need to talk about campus, I actually remind my very first day. which that I wasn't expecting. Even it shows on the Google Maps, but still, like from the airport, when I arrived, I didn't even know there is a one metro station named for University, which is, if you look at this photo, it's like, I don't know, like the left top corner. From there, you basically walk 1 or 2 minutes and you're in the metro station. After that, you're connected with entire Milan. So, I mean, once I arrived, as I said, after metro, I find myself in a campus, which amazed me a lot. I want to say this word in Turkish because many of my friends, still my close friends, when they see my Instagram stories and etc., they're saying ticaret merkezi. It's like a trade commercial, if I'm not mistaken in English. So it's like, it seems like the center of the business, but it's the center of education, but it's the charming part. So besides that, I actually live in the campus. So this entire campus is my home. Right now, I would like to point the right bottom of this picture, because in that garden we have the also residence, which Alberto will mention that afterwards, I believe. There is the residence for the accommodation. I am literally living in the university now, in front of this great garden, and like whenever I'm hungry, I just took a couple of steps and I eat my food in the canteen, where you see all the white chairs and the great area. It's a nice opportunity. Unfortunately, now the the weather is a bit cold, so we cannot eat and enjoy the garden, but we're looking for that. Otherwise, yeah, it's really great when the facilities are disclosed, because I'm a bit I'm not a morning person. So when I wake up, I like to be in the class in 5 minutes. That's why I set my alarm for 10 minutes before the class, so I can basically reach the class. What else? Yeah, the fitness center, I cannot talk about it, unfortunately, because I'm not a fitness guy, as I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's one of the great opportunities that we have now, at least for my friends, even that I'm not using. But also, yeah, I'm most likely into the open areas, and this garden, it's my favorite. So I don't know what I could add, but that's it, I guess.
Well, that's impressive, first of all, because you said something that is not, when you hear a student enrolled at university saying that, like you said, this campus, the whole campus that you see in the picture is actually my home because I live inside the campus, that is really impressive. I look at things from the other perspective because I work inside the university, and hearing a student saying that is always encouraging from our perspective. But I think that we should enter the second part of this presentation, which is maybe a little less entertaining, maybe, but it's about academics. So the things that we do inside the campus and the subjects that we teach at our university. A very brief mention about the Italian education system. As you can see, we have undergraduate programs, 3-year bachelor's degrees right after secondary school. And then once you have your bachelor's degree completed, you can choose between a 2-year master's degree and a 1-year master program. The difference is very simple. The 1-year master programs are more hands-on, and they can also offer you a network of professional contacts to start with immediately after your studies. Somehow they are designed for people who are already entrepreneurs from a certain point of view. At undergraduate level, so at bachelor's level, we have a program completely held in English, that is corporate communication and public relations. And then we have 7 programs held in Italian language. in case you have proficiency of Italian language, you can also choose from these 7 programs, distributed according to the 3 faculties that we have inside the campus. At master's degree level, we are now talking about the 2-year master's degrees. We have 2 programs completely in English: strategic communication and hospitality and tourism management. Both of them are double degrees. Then we have 5 programs held in Italian, which somehow can be considered as the second part of the bachelor's degrees that you have just seen in the previous slide. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, today's main course is the master's degree in hospitality and tourism management. It's the real topic of our introduction. So let's expand a little bit about this program. And let's also have a sort of conversation with our guest, because he's coming from that degree program. So he's an expert in this program and he can tell you more about this. It's a 2-year master's degree, as I said, 120 university credits with a very hands-on approach, very practical. Despite being a 2-year master's degrees, many of the modules, many of the workshop tackle the subjects from a practical point of view. You will meet a faculty composed of 60% of people coming from academia and 40% coming from the world of work, from the job market. So professionals invited to our university in order to teach our students how things should be properly handled in the field of hospitality and tourism. The study plan is greatly customizable with a number of interesting subjects, like, as you can see on screen, for example, theme park management or e-tourism technology. You will get the chance to do internships with partner companies, and we will expand a little bit on this in the following slides. And talking about internationalization, I mentioned that this degree is a double degree because you can choose to spend the second year at UCF, University of Central Florida in Orlando, USA, and get an equivalent title, a Master of Science in Hospitality. Alternatively, you can stay for 2 years in our university and go for a semester abroad option, which is always available. If you choose to stay in our university also for the second year, you can pick one of 2 specialization paths that you can see on screen. One is in digital technologies and data for tourism and creative industries. And the second path is sustainable destination management and communication. The key features of these 2 specializations are well explained on screen. If you go for the curriculum in digital technologies and data, you will be exploiting the potential of big data and the new digital techs in order to personalize the services for the customers and improve a always growing customer experience. You will learn how to optimize business decisions and performance through the use of data in practice, in everyday usage. And, but this is optional, you can choose to do it. You can obtain the official international certification in Hotel Industry Analytics, CHIA, which is very important for your curriculum. So Anil is currently attending this curriculum. He chose to study digital technologies and data for tourism and creative industries. So I would just stop for a second and ask you if you want to expand a little bit more about this choice. So first of all, are you happy with this curriculum that you are attending? And what is the subject that interested you the most so far?
Well, first of all, I'd like to mention I have a tourism background too. So in my bachelor degree, I studied in the Ege University, which is one of the still biggest university in Turkey. I did the tourism there. So I decided to continue on this. And for the path, what can I say about like digital data? It's I'm still making the joke with my friends, like Elon Musk from Twitter, or like the other sort of data, like personal, like accept the cookies, like this. It's literally when we give the data out to someone, we are using how to use this data. First of all, in a general way, how to use the data and get the results or get the answer and use it properly. Then specializing in the tourism data, which we have, as Alberto mentioned, we have the professors from the field, which still affects me well, because even in the Ege University, we have only the academic professors, which their entire life about the books and study. I appreciate that, but still, to seeing someone, for example, we have one professor and he has a hotel. Like once he come to the class, and what he talks about, what he teaches about, it's basically what he does every day on the field. It's a bit different than a book, actually, and otherwise the slides and the lectures, because he is teaching us whatever he's facing through in the industry, and which makes my study easy, actually, because even in the Turkey, I used to study and work together. So I worked in a hotel and I studied in the tourism for like 4 years it's in Çeşme. So I literally learned in 1 month in a hotel instead of like 3 years educational training. So here in the masters, I have this possibility to get them both, because we are really lack of experience when we start the work. So this path and these professors are giving me these opportunities. Thanks to them, I would be just happy if they give me more credits after the exams, but it's maybe my fault too. But again, we are doing great enough. And for the sustainable, I could mention, I'm not studying sustainable, but my close friends are doing the sustainable, which is, we sort of have still main topics. We're not that separated from each other, but let's say if we have like 1 or 2 shared classes, even with sustainability, instead of like we are seeing revenue management, they're seeing a sustainable geography, which is not like mountains and other stuff, but like sustainability of the location and the hospitality perspective, which also we have the third path. Well, I call it like a third path because it's the UCF program. It gives a possibility to our colleagues to go to the United States, which like 20 of my close friends is there. So I'm planning to visit them in May. I personally don't like the United States. That's why I stay in Italy. I like Italy better, but my friends are there right now. So we have this opportunity as well, which, I mean, they are saying it's a bit hard to study in the United States, but it's up to them. I'm happy with my decision. And yes, I guess so far like this.
And we are happy that you decided to stay, because having you for 2 years on campus is a great opportunity of growth also for us. Yes, it's true, like you said, that it's challenging to do the second year in the US, but the feedback that we have from the students involved in the third path, as you correctly called it, is good. And so it's always an opportunity to take into consideration for the second year of studies. Now, if we move forward, Oh, okay. If we move forward to the next slide, we have a summary, like a short recap of the study plan. If you choose to stay at Ulm for 2 years, here you can see a summary, a recap of the main subjects that are taught. And in the right hand of the screen, you can see the core courses and the courses that are selected, activated, let's say, according to the specialization path that you choose. And when we come to the professional profiles, believe it or not, but this long list that you can see on screen is actually the real picture of all the career opportunities that are offered to our graduates in hospitality and tourism management, ranging from the field of experience design and destination management up until the field of food, fashion, design, luxury, art, and culture. So you could actually become one of the descriptions that you can see on screen. Event manager, congress manager, CRM manager for tourism, marketing and communication management, hotel management, revenue manager. So a lot of things, a lot of choices that you can make after graduation. And how can you make this choice? Well, it's simple. At the beginning of the presentation, I quoted something about the University Career Office. We have a dedicated unit just for international students. And this unit is able to help you in finding the right internship experience or the right placement after graduation. And as you can see on screen, the partners that we have able to offer opportunities to our students are really state of the art. Just have a look at the food, fashion, design, luxury, art, and culture bracket. You can see Italy, the very famous restaurant chain, Armani, Bulgari. More specifically speaking, we have an active cooperation with Bulgari Hotels. And then how about airlines like Air Dolomiti or Emirates, and Best Western, Marriott hotel chain. All these companies that you can see on screen have a cooperation agreement with our university. So you can actually benefit from a working experience in that kind of environment. And now we enter the final part of this presentation. We're gonna speedy brief through admission requirements for the 3-year bachelor's degrees. You need to have a high school diploma with at least 12 years of schooling, and national examination for higher education if it is necessary, and in your case is necessary. We could expand this a little bit maybe in the Q&A section. B2 language proficiency, either in English or in Italian, depending on the program that you choose. And for the 2-year master's degrees, you need to have a bachelor's degree related to your chosen program, just like Anil, because as he mentioned, he is coming from a tourism background, so his bachelor's degree matched his choice at master level. Language proficiency again, which can also be assessed through an oral interview in case you don't have a certificate at hand. And good knowledge of the topics related to your chosen program. As you have probably noticed, I'm skipping the technical part. So how could you apply to university in practice, technical speaking, because our host for today's presentation, Firenze, they are the experts. So we are not stealing time explaining how to technically apply to Università Ulm because it's their cup of tea. But just to wrap up the presentation, we could mention something about the tuition fees. For the 3-year bachelor's degrees, the tuition fee is 8,500 euros roughly per year, divided into 3 installments. while for the 2-year master's degrees, it's 9,900 per year, again, divided into 3 installments. The first installment is to be paid when you perform your enrollment and you confirm the place at university, and this can be done online. The tuition fee for the 1-year master programs, which are not specifically addressed in this presentation, may vary a lot. So if you are interested in one of those, please get in touch with Firenze because they have the complete list. The good news is that we can offer financial support to our international students with a very, very competitive tuition fee reduction program, up to 100% tuition fee reduction for the first year, based on merit requirements. Hospitality and tourism management is included in this group. And then we have the DSU Regional Scholarship opportunity, also for international students, which entails a little bit more of bureaucracy, to be very honest and transparent with you. But still, it's a great opportunity if you are searching for a funding option for your studies. It shouldn't be considered as your go-to option because the results for the DSU Regional Scholarship come very late, in late November. And at that time, you have already paid the first installment of your tuition fees. But still, it's worth mentioning. And last but not least, the opportunity to be accommodated on campus. Anil gave you a little bit of a spoiler before, during the presentation, because he told you that the campus is actually his house. And it's true, because he had the chance to be accommodated in our international students' residence, which is a 3-minute walk from lectures, with a special rate per month, which now has been updated to 400 euros per month, which is very competitive if you think of the average living cost of Milan. But we still have alternative solutions available. If you're not able to be accommodated inside the campus, we cooperate with a number of accommodation solutions, private accommodation solutions, and accommodation providers like Milan Housing, Spot a Home, Housing Anywhere, Milano Stanze, and they are able to help international students in finding a place to live. Well, Anil, would you like to add something about your experience as an international student lodged inside our international students' residence? Would you like maybe to say a bit more? You already told us that you are not a very morning person, so you like the idea of waking up at the very last second and going to class just 5 minutes before the beginning, which is great. But how is like being lodged in the international students' accommodation? Is it easy to make friends? Is it a good atmosphere?
Well, starting from the easy to make friends, it depends on a person still. But for example, in my situation, I didn't tell you that to Alberto, but like I become a president of residence too. So like I am representing, wow. Yeah, I'm representing this president too. So which was it's a bit challenging because convincing like 150 Italians to vote for a Turkish guy. So yeah, it was a bit challenging, but yeah, I made it. So I really love this place because like this is not paid position, let's say, being the president or representative of the residents. So I really love here the environment because like okay, as I said, I'm a friendly guy, but before arriving here, like I literally had 0 Italian friends, which I had 50 French friends. They are still pissed off me because I choose Italy, but yeah, but still like I had 0 Italian friends. So when I arrived here, as I said, we have like 150 people. It's sometimes also challenging living with 150 people, like the noise, sometimes the image that you don't want to see in the kitchen, but still at the end of the day, for example, if we eat pasta a lot in Italy. But so like if you lack of pasta, you can ask, you can share. Like in the sense you don't just share the pasta or food, but you share the time also in the kitchen. I don't know if anyone watched Italian movies, like when the family gathers together and it's like a huge table. We have this every night with the Italian students, which like one is from like Sicily, one is from Napoli. So they bring stuff from their home too. So like the grandma made stuff. So we share those moments too. Yeah, but as I said, it sometimes could be a bit challenging living with 150 people, but it's the side effect of living in a residence, because also before I had this opportunity, I had to search for accommodation in Milan, which they literally offered me like one single bed in the hallway for 400 euros. So yeah, so it's a bit tough, but like living inside of the university like this, which if I literally like look from the window, I can see where Alberto is. Like it's reachable everywhere. So it's great, and like the friendship environment in residence, same as in the class. That culturally similar because of the Mediterranean style. So once I enter the class, they all welcome you. Not all Milanese people, because they're a bit Milanese, but still, it's good. So yeah, that's actually all I can say, I guess, for now.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience. I guess we reached the end of the slideshow and the presentation and the conversation. So we